Before you listen to online coaches telling you to start an online business, you will make money 5 million, 2 million. There are things you need to know. There are things they are not telling you. This video is for you.
Before you listen to online coaches tell you this and that about dropshipping, make sure you watch this video.
My name is Tosin, and I'm here with.
My name is Lillian. Welcome, guys, to our Digital Literacy Podcast. This month, we begin a new series on what online businesses are not telling you.
We'll be exploring the shockers behind the scenes, the challenges that you will face when you start this business. Okay, first, what is dropshipping? What is dropshipping? If I were to explain dropshipping to a 5-year-old, I would say you are a middleman. You collect order from a client. You take that order to a supplier. The supplier sends the package directly to the customer, and you get your profit. Simple. That is dropshipping. So there are also instances where you are the one who assembles the product and you send it to the customer. That is another area of dropshipping. That's another level of dropshipping. So the customer can either receive it from the supplier straight, or you as the middleman, the dropshipper, you assemble the product and you send it to the client, the customer.
Now that brings us back to the initial shockers of dropshipping. So one of the shockers before you get into dropshipping business is logistical nightmares.
Handling logistics in the dropshipping business, it can be overwhelming. There can be lost products. There can be delay in delivery. So these are things you need to look out for. These are things you need to manage. So your eyes need to be on the ground. You need to follow the package as it's leaving the supplier, even till it gets to the customer. Or it depends on the scenario, anyways. So you need to talk to your customers, proactively communicate with them. Tell them about the potential delays. Tell them about the delivery time so that they will manage their expectations. You understand? So,
in addition to what he has said, another thing you need to pay close attention to is the status of the drivers. By that I mean ensure that the dispatch riders or the dispatch company are registered.
For example, if you're in Nigeria and your customer tells you, please just send my goods to a dispatch rider, please tell them to send you a message. Normally, we would advise you that you make sure you dispatch your items through a registered company. Either it could be your Uber or GIG. But if the customer is insisting that I want it now, then let them send you evidence so that whatever loss that happens, it's off your shoulder.
another part that gets people into trouble is shipping costs. You need to do your due diligence. Find out the shipping cost and send it to the customer beforehand so that there will be no issues at the end. Not when you've collected money and you now find out shipping cost, you are saying, they will not pay. So you need to find out the shipping cost. That's very important. Keep that in mind.
Another shocker, guys, customs confusion. And I'm going to be honest with you, dealing with custom regulations and import duties can be rude and weakening.
If you don't do your homework, if you don't find out the procedures of these custom offices, you will end up having frustrated customers calling you, and you will have lots of delays in your packages. So you need to find out, you need to know what the regulations are like, you need to know what the custom procedures are, so that you know about shipping times and there will be no delays in delivery.
One thing that you need to look for smooth product clearance is the weight of the material that you're selling, especially if you're an aspiring international exporter. One of the things you need to make sure is if, for instance, your client has made an order and the order is 2 kg, when you get to the shipping company and they don't have the envelope for a 2 kg material or a 2 kg item, what would they do? The next one is the 5 kg packaging. Now you must understand that there's a voluminization chart. The price for 2 kg is different from the price for 5 kg. You need to let your customer be aware before you package and send to them, and they will not be able to bear the cost. The second thing you also need to be aware of is invoicing. What invoicing application would you be using? Because when you send this materials, when you send this item to the country where it's supposed to be sent to, and customs people do not see an invoice, I'm sorry, but that item may incur demurrage in their custody. So ensure invoicing is done and ensure that you check the weight and convey this information to the customer.
Also, You're a small business owner. You are an aspiring entrepreneur. You want to drop ship with international clients. There are things you need to keep in mind. Number one, where are you sending this package to? What country is this package going to? Do they accept those kind of packages? Is it a war zone? So these are things that will affect the logistics of the delivery of your product. You need to find out, will the customer be paying extra when they are collecting the products on their end? So these are things you need to keep in mind. You need to do your homework so that you tell the customer beforehand so they will know what to expect. Not that you put yourself into trouble. So keep this in mind.
A third and a very important shocker you need to take note of while you are still in this dropshipping business is financial frustrations. And I'm going to tell you as it is. You need to develop a comprehensive financial plan that accounts for unexpected expenses, transaction fees, and currency fluctuations.
Many new dropshippers they make the mistake of underestimating the financial implications of transaction fees, like you mentioned, of currency conversion, and even return shipment. You don't want to make this mistake. Why? Because these shockers, I like to call them shockers, they can affect your cash flow and ultimately your profit margin. You don't want to be running a business and you are not making money, or even worse, you are losing money. This is why you need to manage your finances carefully and be very detailed about it.
So, guys, we're taking our time to explain all the shockers involved in dropshipping because we want you to enjoy the business. To be honest, you will make money in this dropshipping, but at the same time, want to be aware of the risk involved because you can also lose money as well.
So you are a drop shipper, and I'm sure every time you hear save your money in dollars, save your money in dollars, it's more profitable. But let me tell you, it's not always like that. I'll give you an example. So you source your product locally here in Nigeria, but you are saving in dollars. The value of naira when it drops, you lose money. Why? Because you are spending in naira, as opposed to if you are sourcing your product internationally, then it's fine. You can save your money in dollars because the value doesn't drop because you are spending in that dollar. So that's what makes the difference. If you are saving in dollars, it's fine if you are sourcing your products abroad. But if you are sourcing your products here in Nigeria, it is better to save in naira because that is what you are spending.
Another thing you need to ensure is size. For instance, you are into nightwears and then your client or your merchant is in China. Remember, the size in China is different from what we have here in Africa, specifically Nigeria. Our XXL is probably their SS. So what I would advise you to do is just buy samples, just get their samples so you can know what the size is like before you go and make a bulk order. Imagine spending 10,000 naira just getting sample as opposed to now buying bulk of 500,000 naira. My guy, you will lose a lot of money. So you see, we're taking the pain to explain all these shockers so you don't make the mistakes that some dropshippers often make.
So before you dive into the online business, before you start your dropshipping business, you need to keep these shockers in mind. You need to keep this information in mind so that you don't lose money, so that you don't waste your time and your energy.
Next week, we'll talk about how you can find reliable suppliers and how to navigate this challenge. We hope you have learned one, two, perhaps three things from all of these online shockers.
So to find out more information about the shockers in dropshipping business, we have a blog. Visit the blog. There you will be exposed to more information so that you don't make those small mistakes that cost you money.
This is still the Digital Literacy Podcast, so stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.